All right, when getting information from a trigonometric function, we can identify the amplitude, midline, period, and maximum and minimum from just the numbers here you see. I'll back it up with a graph. First, I like to start with the midline. Midline is always y equals the number at the end. So if this case is plus 7, y equals 7. The amplitude that's always a positive number. So if your leading number is negative, just take the absolute value of that number and your amplitude would be 4. Your minimum is going to be your midline plus, minus your amplitude, and your maximum is going to be your midline plus your amplitude. So the midline being 7, that's going to be 7 minus 4. Your minimum value will be 3. Your maximum would be 7 plus 4, which is 11. So we got those 4 things. And finally, to get the period always follows the formula 2 pi divided by whatever your b value is. So in this case, it's 3. I can't divide the 2 and the 3 evenly, so I just leave it as 2 pi over 3. If it ends up being a 4, then reduce that fraction. If it's 2, then the 2's cancel out, and it's just pi. So depends on what number you have here, but 2 pi over 3 would be this period. We can verify that with a graph. So what we'd want to do when we're graphing this is we want to be in radian mode for the graph. So make sure your mode is set to radians, not degree. Type in your equation. And if you look down here, the low point is at 3, that's your minimum. Your high point is at 11, that's your maximum. And halfway between 3 and 11 is 7. It doesn't give you y equals 7, but you could do y equals 7 to get that midline if you want. So the amplitude is the distance between the midline and the maximum. That's going to be 4 units. 7 plus 4 is 11. 7 minus 4 is 3. It won't outright give you the period. However, the period on a cosine problem is the distance from peak to peak. So if you start here, it's at 0, and then here it's going to 2 pi over 3. That verifies that period is going to be 2 pi over 3. So if it's a sine, then that period would be from the midline to this midline and back again. So it's from the midline to the second time it hits the midline afterwards. So 2 pi over 3 still for your sine. So all the other stuff's the same.